Hello, everybody. My name is Zerduku, and welcome back to Music Girl. It's been a long time. Now, for those people who've been on this YouTube channel before and watching some of my videos, which I'm not too sure how much people actually watch my books, people reading my books. But if you remember that Gun Kid actually read this one, and now Punky is going to read it. And I'm going to say the same thing I did in that video. I think this one's gonna touch some very touchy subjects, and great. Now my brain just did like a brain fart, so I can't remember what the hell I was gonna say. Fuck. uh,
Here we are with Music Girl, Chapter 2. Let's not waste time. Let's get into it.
yeah. I can't. You know what? If it comes up, I'll mention it. All right. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. All right. You go ahead and read the beginning page.
Season 1, Book 2, written by Zach Salvi, edited by Emerald, and re-edited by ZMS.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Before you start reading the book, it should be noticed that I do not own the license to the lyrics of the songs. Alright, so this is just like...
Yeah. That's all that really is. If you want to, you can skip it if you want. It's up to you.
Separate Discord server. There's a link. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the story. If I could fly to heaven and go far and beyond. In the beautiful blue sky up above. Sang Music Girl's voice with a dark void. Within a dark void. With the end of the opening lyrics, the scene opens up with a
I just want to check to
musical
see. Okay, yeah, recording. Sorry.
With the end of opening lyrics, the scene opens up with a musical fading out. Seeing Music Girl standing in the middle of a grassy field, looking up into the blue sky. A slideshow of different filter colors showing Music Girl playing on the piano. Tony is playing a harmonica. Barbara is playing drums to the music of the opening song. And RJ is just out at McDonald's.
Actually, that sounds pretty good. Actually,
Is there a meaning to all the suffering that we all endure? I tried to find the courage to stand up and speak for all the precious feelings I feel for people. It's just a dream, but I can see a world of paradise, so I try to spread my wings and fly. If you could fly, would you fly towards the peaceful heaven in that big blue sky above? If you
blue
could
sky.
fly, would you leave all evil behind? Well, we need to speak to leave pride and greed all behind. We need to learn and believe to leave it all behind. To light up above. Sang Music Girl. And a flash of different events take place. You could see Music Girl battling a bunch of bad guys in the background. You can see RJ Cobra standing on a hill overlooking the city in the twilight hour. Beside RJ was a mechanical little dog standing. Tony sits alone on a hill beneath a tree, questioning his decisions. Barbara worries about Tony's mental health. I hear the sounds of men breaking the glass, burning beneath the heels of pride and self-empowerment. When you have had enough, you try to find the courage to throw it all away, but you don't know what there is. It's a voice that must be heard. Now, extend your hand and soar away. If you could live with your darkness, would you love your darkness? Well, if you did, you would find the strength to reach your goal. Because your friends can make your path. This is the voice calling to you. A blinding light is calling to you. From your path into that golden light in the blue sky. Sang Music Girl. You see men being thrown away like garbage falling out of the sky and shattering on the ground, with a multicolored flag consuming the world with pride and self-empowerment. The pride flag.
Yeah,
These are good plays for empathy for what is
this is.
happening to the world as she sings her song.
You're gonna learn
Then you
very
see,
quickly that this particular episode is very anti LGBTQ, very anti. This
then
is
you
gonna
see
be.
Tony.
This is gonna be. Let's just hope we don't get choked to death.
Hopefully. Then you see Tony on his knees crying as loneliness consuming him. The music girl and her friends offer him a helping hand as they run together within the grassy plain of the park with humility, understanding, of friendship. After the
Oh,
song ends,
yeah, it took me a while to find you. Okay, I apologize.
after that song ends and becomes part of their album from the school, one afternoon during an after-school program of drama club in middle school, the drama club teacher clapped his hands. The young teenage students take their place and begin their rehearsal for a stage play for the story of Moses. Spotlights shines upon two teenage boys where one is wearing a fake Moses outfit and the other teenager is wearing a fake Pharaoh outfit. No matter how powerful you think you are, I will not let your people go, and the gods of Egypt will not allow you to ruin our traditions, said the teenage actor in a pharaoh costume with a demanding voice. My power isn't my own. I must urge you to please listen to me because I do not wish to harm the innocent of your people for the sake of mine, said the teenager wearing the Moses costume. When the teenage pharaoh actor was about to say his line, he started to choke on a fly, then flew into his mouth. You okay, brother? Said the teenage boy in the Moses costume. He takes off the fake beard and hat, revealing a blonde, hairy boy as he approached the other teenager with caution and care. Cut, cut, said the drama teacher, getting upset over the situation. Some water, please, said the frail teenager, still coughing and hacking. Eventually, another student comes over with a glass of water to help the frail teenager regain his voice. Darn it. 4-minute break, everybody, said the drama teacher. With frustration in his voice, he walks a few feet into the darkness off the stage. After that, all the lights turn on the rehearsal stage. How are you holding up there, Quinn? Asked the Moses teenager. Don't worry, Robert, it was just a bug, and said Quinn, dressed as a pharaoh. He takes his hat off, showing his long blonde hair, revealing their almost identical faces, blue eyes, and freckles. Changing the subject, Robert asked Quinn a question. Well, I heard you were going to change your name, and I was just a little bit worried, explained Robert with concern. Of course, I'm going to change my name because I always was meant to be a girl. Quinn responds with pride, and as he finishes his glass of water. But you're a boy, just like Robert began to speak, but he was interrupted by his brother. Hey, I know who I am. Where do you and everybody else find the authority to decide who I am? Said Quinn, interrupting his brother, pointing and yelling at him. Despite being teenager boy, Quinn has been rejected and mistreated by girls from his school. His brother, Robert, feels that Quinn's reason for wanting to turn gay is due to the being mistreated and mistook by other girls. You know, brother, I do worry about you, and I feel like this is the wrong kind of decision to make for yourself, said Robert, with empathy. I'm fine there, brother. You need to stop worrying. All you need to do is accept who I am, and we'll be fine, said Quinn with anger and pride as he walks away from his brother. At that moment, Robert stands alone in the middle of the stage,
Sorry,
wondering.
I went a little bit too far.
That's fine. Wondering what he should do because deep down he feels compelled that there is something wrong and something needs to be done. The next day, Music Girl is patrolling around the school looking out for bullies before the school day really starts. The city is mostly run by street gangs. The bullying at school is out of control, and ever since Music Girl donned herself as a superhero trying to send positive messages through her music, she's been trying to stop bullying herself, since most of the teachers will not get involved. Music Girl hears a commotion in one of the classrooms that she's passing by. She stops, slowly approaches the classroom door, and peeks her head into the classroom to see what's going on. Music Girl can see a group of teenage girls of different color gaining up on a teenage black boy with a large square glasses and buck teeth.
There's a lot of
So
like
you're
there's a lot of like weird, oddly spacious things, and I'm just fictioning them, so don't mind me.
Mhm. So you're the one who tweeted this message saying that it is all your fault, our fault that men are committing suicide, said the lead black girl with dyed blonde hair wearing a pink dress.
Gungalo,
Yeah.
jeez.
I was just trying to say that if you girls were a little nicer, then maybe the suicide rate might go down.
um. Oh yeah, that oh, man, that part just reminds me of what really pushed me to write this episode. I watched a lot of shoe on head videos, and so there's a lot of like stuff from that on here. Where are we exactly? Are we right where this is blinking?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, that's good enough.
Said the black teenager trying to get his cell phone back from the group of girls. The lead girl kicks him in the chest, causing him to be pushed against the corner of the classroom. And then he throws away the boy's cell phone. That's why the boy's cell phone and into the garbage can. Like whatever. Like whatever, man.
Like whatever, kind of like that those preppy girl bullshit.
The boys are nothing more than a bunch of evil rapists, anyways. So, if anything, if the suicide rate should go up a little higher, then the women are finally inherit the earth because it belongs to us. Oh, entitled bitches. The girls in the
Yeah, that's
group.
basically what it was. That really pushed me to write this book was fucking. Uh, if you don't know who Shu on Head is, she basically reads a bunch of freaking like uh stuff on like Twitter and stuff, and most of the stuff that's on Twitter is entitled bitches. So okay,
Um,
so are we right here? Right here?
yeah.
Okay. Why is
I
that?
don't believe that it's true, said a voice getting all the girls' attention, including the teenage black boy. Everybody looks to see that Music Girl has entered the room. As an immediate response, all the girls look at her with confusion at first. Then they start to approach Music Girl. Well, if it isn't not the most famous celebrity in our school. Have you come to join the women's group? After all, we're on the verge of awakening the world completely controlled by women, said the lead girl with
God damn
confidence.
the entitlement. Jesus.
The
Is it
world.
so it's not just cringe, it's just borderline evil, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the world and the universe belongs to no one. Now, if you don't mind, I want to make sure that boy is okay, so please step aside, said Music Girl with a calm, empathetic voice. What are you talking about? Men are ruled over women for centuries, or haven't you not noticed that? Asked the lead girl with anger. Just because somebody says that something is does not mean it's true. Now, are you going to step aside, or am I going to have to make you? asked Music Girl, continuing to stay calm and collective. As an immediate response, the lead girl becomes outraged. You dumb cock-sucking motherfucking piece of shit, Crystal. Why don't you show this pedophile promoter her place? Said the lead girl. She snaps her fingers and an extremely tall, super fat teenage girl stands before Music Girl as an obstacle. Sure thing, Bridget. I'll crush this tiny little scrawny girl like a toothpick, said the fat girl known as Crystal. You're so tiny and scrawny, I mean, where are your organs? Asked
I,
Crystal, looking down
I
at
actually
her with
I
mockery.
actually remember that there was like a drawing that that Shuan had was looking at, and it was a drawing of like it was a comic drawing for Black Widow, and everybody kept asking, "Where's her organs?" So that's what that's from. I can't remember
After
what video that was, but whatever.
after that, the two girls they stared at each other. When Crystal realized that she can see that Musical was not going to back down, she decided to punch Musical with her giant fat fist. Music Girl just easily stepped her punch with an incredible amount of strength from her one hand. Believe it or not, a girl as scrawny as me can have organs. It is just a matter of eating right and exercising, said Music Girl, holding Crystal's fist like it was nothing. Then all of a sudden, Music Girl punched Crystal into the stomach so hard that it knocked Crystal out unconscious. Even if your only source of food was fast food restaurants, you can balance that with exercise and still be just as scrawny as me. Well, I hope you learned your lesson from me, said Girl. She walks by Crystal. After that, all the other girls were afraid of her. So,
It's kind of
son,
clear that what she's trying to do is trying to be like this superhero that says a bunch of like thing like learning stuff. But I think she's going a little bit over the top. I think when you're reading this, that's what it sounds like. She's going too far. Sorry, continue the book.
are you okay, mister? Asked Music Girl, approaching the black teenager. Well, the only thing that is hurt right now is my pride and maybe my lost cell phone. The black teenager responded with timid manner. It's okay, because you don't need those things. All that matters is your life, explained Music Girl. As an immediate response, the black teenager began to blush, looking at Music Girl's pretty perfect face with her long brown hair and green eyes coming through her music note like glasses. The lead girl notices the blush and begins to giggle. Well, it seems that our super lonely nerd has got a crush, said the lead girl. During her laughter, Music Girl looks at the lead girl with a blank expression. Gasp. Shutting up now, said with the lead girl with fear. I apologize, but I'm not interested in relationships, but don't hesitate to ask for any help from me, explained Music Girl. Well, I'm sure my name is Ferbert? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Where
his
is
name
that?
is Ferbert. For some reason, all I can think is I can't remember that person from that TV show. Did I do that?
Stephen Urkel?
Yeah, Steve Urkel. For some reason, all I can think is Steve Urkel. Anyways, whatever.
Stood at the black teenager, blushing all at the same time. After that, musical girl rolled her eyes, seeing that the boy was okay, and she leaves. After musical leaves the classroom, teacher walks by, even though Missy Musical knew the bell was about to ring. Interrupted by a familiar voice. Yo, what's up, Music Girl? Said RJ Cobra. Music Girl looked to her, see her friend RJ Cobra. What are you doing here? Asked Music Girl with curiosity. I watched and listened to the beat that went down there. I can see that you witnessed the same thing I've been seeing for the past couple of weeks. It is no longer the gangs that are getting out of control in the city. There seems to be An ever-growing population of women bullying men for some reason, explained RJ Cobra. So what's your point? It's nothing. I can't handle. They're just a bunch of girls, stated Music Girl. Let me tell you an interesting story. Back in my hood, there was a cousin of mine who graduated from high school, wanting to be a stripper when her grandmother asked why she chose that path to work when she could work any other job. My cousin responded saying that women are extremely cruel nowadays and are hurting lots of men. So I decided to give myself in order to try to fix the pain that women cause, explained RJ. Are you trying to tell me that I should just give away over my body to prevent people from hurting themselves? Asked Music Girl with confusion and disgust. Actually, whether them helping the situation, my cousin ultimately made things a little bit worse. But my point is that you're going against a uphill battle that no one has been able to solve. Being able to take down a bunch of bad people isn't going to be enough, explained RJ. Okay, then, what do you think should be done? Asked Music Girl, crossing her arms. Mm,
That should be good
To
enough.
be fair, to be fair, I had no idea, but as your friend, I'll do what I can do to try and help. Maybe we just got to figure out a way to bring people together where nobody is at everybody's throats, said RJ with a smile on his face, and then he walks away with the bell ringing. At lunchtime, a group of girls, some are trans girls, are gathered around a table eating lunch while having a conversation with each other. I thought that because she was a girl, a superhero would be on our side, but she proved herself to be quite the evil bitch, said one of the girls. Eventually, Quinn overhears the conversation and joins the girls, just when you thought we had enough problems with people not accepting us for who we are, said one of the trans girls. What are your girls talking about? What's going on? Asked Quinn with concern. Turns out Turns out that Music Girl has a problem with women, explained one of the girls. Yeah, she's against women's rights. Unfortunately, everybody agrees with her, said one of the trans girls. Oh, really? Do tell, Quinn responded, joining the drama. Yeah, I also heard that the blue squids got singled out by their leader is a trans boy. And thinking about retaliating, explained one of the trans girls. Despite being a gang, the blue squid has helped us organize our Pride Days. Are they really going to do something? Asked Quinn with curiosity. Well, considering that Music Girl took down one of our strongest girl in our group, I honestly feel like somebody has to do something to stop her, explained one of the girls. At that moment, Quinn sat there thinking about the situation. As a result, he did not respond. 6 minutes earlier, in the basement of an arcade, a group of femboys known as the Blue Squid are gathered under their leader Steve. Hey Steve, I just heard that our new nemesis music girl is making a scene with the lesbian community at school, said one of Steve's gang members. Oh really? So what happened today with that stupid bitch anyways? Asked Steve. With a slow, malevolent gesture as if he was waiting for someone to be murdered. I remember this guy.
Weirdly enough, as interesting side note, Steve wasn't supposed to be in this book in the original version, but I shoehorned him into this book for the reasons that I felt like the books, it's metaphor. I felt like the metaphors were just too serious, and I wanted to make like a mindless fight just to make it more entertaining. But whatever.
Well, from what I heard, she took out one of the strongest girls in their group, explained the gang member, looking kind of nervous. As an immediate response, Steve became angry and picked up a piece of wood and threw it at the gang member. The piece of wood bounced off his head and he reacted with pain as the gang member stood in the line with the other blue squid. I don't want to hear about her victories. I want that bitch 6 feet under. You understand? Said Steve as he
I'm sorry, I went a little too far.
shouted Steve as he walked around his gang members. After that, all of his gang members were silent, scared to speak because they have no solution against a superhero who has gained quite the reputation in Music City. After that, Steve stood still for a moment, thinking about the situation. We need to find a way to kill that bitch, said Steve, pointing at his gang members. But how do you kill someone that has the ability to deflect bullets just like their music? Said one of Steve's gang members while thinking. As an immediate response, Steve ran up to that gang member and grabbed him by the jacket and pushed him against the wall, yelling at his face. I don't want excuses, I want solutions, said Steve with anger. Sir, said another gang member with nervousness. What is it? Said
Here we go again.
as he rolls his eyes and lets go out of the gang member. Then he had pinned in the wall. I heard that the underground mafia has been developing a weapon to cause police forces to submit, including Kendo Mafia, explained the gang member with nervousness. At that moment, Steve took a minute to think about it. If the memory serves, Music Girl did not attack one of their drug transfers 5 months
Did
ago, right?
attack, not did not. Did.
I'm tired.
Oh well.
Said Steve as he
Well to be fair, they're punky. I am too. That's why I'm not
she
saying very much.
said Steve as he points at the gang member with demand. Um, yes, that's correct, sir. Member quickly said, terrified of his boss. After a couple of heavy breaths from Steve, he composed himself. I want you guys to help me set up a meeting with Mr. Linderman, said Steve as he sat down on a wooden box, taking a joint out of his pocket and lighting it. But we're just a small gang. We want to contact the mafia. Isn't that a little nuts? Said one of his gang members. Steve looks at the gang member who said that and exhales the smoke in his general direction. Did I stutter or something? Said Steve with a cold voice as an immediate response. All of the blue squid gang members make a no gesture to their gang leader,
Did I
leaving the basement
stutter or
to
something? Get to work, you useless goons.
the Alright.
Alright. Did you read all this?
Yeah.
Alright, well then I'm scrolling down.
During twilight hour, on the same day, a meeting was set up in a skyscraper next to a casino building. Steve was guided by security guards into a room, and then the security guards locked him in that room. Steve sat down on a couch looking at a magazine, and he sits inside the fancy room with a large window overlooking the Music City. Eventually, an older man with a short beard and a business suit walks into the room. Norichi Linderman at your service, said the older man as he shakes Steve's hand and sits in front of him. So I'm surprised to hear that a small gang member wants to set up a meeting with me. Something big must be going down. So how about you tell me why you're here? Said Mr. Linderman with a strange confidence. Very strange confidence. Stranger things.
No, well, whatever. Honestly, I don't really care.
Music Girl's causing me a lot of problems, and I heard that she's been quite the annoying insect in your operations, Steve responded. At that moment, Mr. Linderman's confident smile seems to fade. Instantly, Mr. Linderman stands up and walks over to the window overlooking the city. No, that is something I did not see coming. It appears that we have a common enemy, said Mr. Linderman as he cracks his knuckles and continues to overlook the city. If there is any weapon that you have that I can use, then she won't be much of a problem anymore. Now, should she? Or would she? Said Steve as he stands up from the couch and takes 2 steps towards Linderman. Tell me there, boy. If you had the power to do whatever you want with this music girl, what would you do? Asked Mr. Linderman, continued to look outside the window. I would fucking kill her and then I'd rape her corpse before I toss it into a sewage tank. She deserves to drown in piss for what she did to me and my gang members, yelled Steve with anger and malevolence. You're gay, aren't you? Mr. Linderman walks to the right wall of the room. Yeah, of course, because that's who I am, explained Steve with confusion. Mr. Linderman put his hand on the wall and a secret compartment opens up. You know who you are, and that is a good thing. After all, the only thing that is important is yourself. Knowing who you are, which places where you plant your feet with that pride that you deserve, said Mr. Linderman as he puts down a black box on the table in front of Steve. What the hell are you talking about? Asked Steve, looking even more confused than before. The women The women of this world seem to think it belongs to them because it was made by them. But we will give the world to them in exchange of sharing this world with a much superior race, explained Mr. Linderman. Why don't you start making some sense? Don't you start making sense? Shouted Steve, pointing at Mr. Linderman. Fine, said Mr. Linderman, as white horns came out of his head. The devil wings came out of his back with the eyes of a terrifying serpent. Steve steps back with fear as he stumbles a little bit. So it's true. I thought it was a myth, but demons are among us. The devil among us.
If I could edit, I would put the what is it, the Among Us sound, that near noise.
Said Steve with fear. In this part of the universe, magic is rare, and technically we demons are very far from home, and we're in the market for a better one. So
Market.
in the very beginning, market. The black market.
Yeah,
In the
it
very
might as well
beginning,
be that.
trying to unite with the gay and lesbian communities because they are so much like us. You were hoping that they would understand our cause, didn't you? And Mr. Linderman has his wings and horns seem to fade away, making him look human again. Yes, I understand. In a matter of fact, how would I not? How would I not? Many different women and trans men want to make the rules of this world for us to live in peace, but we can't do that with people like Music Girl in the way, said Steve with empathy. Exactly, said Mr. Linderman as he opens the black box, revealing a bunch of black stones. This should give you more than enough power to fight Music Girl and defeat her, said Mr. Linderman as he holds up one of the black stones that radiate with a purple magical aura. What is that thing, Steve? It is something from my universe. We call them demon stones. How obvious. What am I going to do with this thing? You're going to take off your shirt and I'm going to put them on your chest and then they're going inside your heart. It is mostly definitely going to hurt, but if you survive, you will be more powerful than most human beings. Most human beings. Explained Mr. Lenderman. Steve took a moment to think about it, but his desire to kill Music Girl negated any sense of logic. He takes off his shirt and looks into Mr. Lenderman's eyes. Do it. Steve said with confidence. Mr. Lenderman put the stone on his chest and it magically burned into his chest, infusing with his heart. Steve screams in agony and falls to the floor. Security! Yelled Mr. Lenderman. Security guards. Enters the room. Yes, sir, asked the security guard. Take this boy to the freezer room. If he survives, let him out. If he does not, then dispose of the body, ordered Mr. Lenderman as he walks away. Yes, sir, Mr. Lenderman, says the security guard as he picks up Steve onto his shoulder and carries him away. We're getting mixed up with demonic bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of it was kind of rushed and shoehorned in a little bit. So in a
Yeah.
way, it kind of doesn't make sense. But I was like thinking, you know what? Comic books don't make sense. So these superhero comics don't make sense. So what does it? It wouldn't make. I felt like it wouldn't make a difference if it didn't make sense. So whatever.
Yeah, meanwhile, Music Girl is in the park practicing her guitar skills. All of a sudden, her practice was interrupted by some shouts. Music Girl, yelled the black nerd known as Furbert. I still don't like that name. With a plea.
And that's the point. It's supposed to be a weird fucking name. It's to be like the nerdiest name you could ever think of.
He stops in front of the musical girl, breathing heavily. Furbert, is it? What's the matter?
That's breathing heavily, burping.
With empathy as she stands up looking at him with seriousness. I just heard that the leader of the Blue Squids is making a deal with the Mafia in order to kill you, explained Furbert with a plea. At the same time, Robert also shows up, but he stops saying that Music Girl is busy. Don't worry, I can handle myself, looking at Robert. Music Girl says, do you want something? It's nothing. I was just going to just tell you the same thing, said Robert, turning around, concerned about something else. Robert felt like she couldn't help him. Besides, she looked busy. So he turned around and walks away. However, Music Girl feels like there was more to it than what Robert said. Not wanting to force Robert to talk about his concerns left her feeling concerned. That night, Robert went home with the concerns of what his brother had chosen for himself. Throughout the afternoon, thoughts were going through his mind. Robert felt his brother was going through an identity crisis due to his choices of becoming gay. But he wasn't too sure how to approach the problem, and he did not want to ask Music Girl, since she was already making an image of herself to be a voice of reason. However, Robert's conscience tells him that approaching Music Girl with this problem's just another dead end. Every time he had approached his brother with kindness and concern, his brother would retaliate with cruel words. Robert's only advice from other people had just been on the lines of just accepting on who they are, but feels that there's an incorrect way of approaching it. Because a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. He felt that gender swapping is only a sign of something is wrong with that person. However, he feels no malice towards those people. Instead, he feels only pity. As a result, he wants to help those people with their emotional problems. However, Robert does not know how to approach the problem. So after dinner, Robert finds himself lying on bed, all by himself in his room, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the issues. After running around circles in his mind, he becomes lost in thoughts and his memories. He becomes He comes around a memory where he went to a bookstore and bought a book. Robert always had a fondness for things that were dark and gothic. The book he bought is called The Legend of Reapers. In its pages, it is a description of a heart-shaped amulet known as the Heart of Tears, which according to myth plays a melody that summons the angel of death for the sake of infinite wisdom beyond the veil.
Yeah, it's veil, but I can understand that you're tired, just like me. So whatever.
He feels to himself, remembering that he did find the Heart of Tears and kept it as a souvenir. Then all of a sudden, a light bulb goes off in Robert's head. If superheroes like Music Girl exist, then maybe not only magic exists as well, but the myth of Heart of Tears is true.
You know what?
So he
Maybe that was my logic. If superheroes exist, magic exists. That's probably what my logic was to this whole book.
So he gets out of bed and then opens up his cupboard, revealing a black box. He opens the black box, revealing a silver chain necklace with a heart-shaped medallion attached to the chain. Silver heart has a picture of a skull on it, and he knows what if it is opened, it will play a melody automatically. Desperate to find answers, Robert snuck out of the house to get to a graveyard to increase his possible chances of summoning the Grim Reaper. So, in the dead of night, he snuck out of his bedroom window and goes through his backyard, leaving through the backyard gate. 12 minutes later, he walks up a small hill. Overlooking the public graveyard of Music City with nervousness, Robert opens up the heart shaped medallion. Immediately, a sad melody plays, and for some reason, Robert was compelled to whisper lyrics to the melody. Cruel and cold like the rain in the heavens. Would you ever return to me? Hear my voice and sing with the clouds. My pain will never die, whispered Robert to the sad melody as a tear goes down his face, feeling a sense of unyielding pain within the music. All of a sudden, a thunderbolt caught Robert's attention, and he turns around to see that clouds were spontaneously spawning around him, covering the once clear sky of the night. Robert knew that there wasn't supposed to be any rain that night, so he was confused. But he felt that there was more to the storm than just its physical appearance. The cold clouds gave off an ominous feeling of emptiness, a feeling that was devoid of any purpose or reasoning, leaving a sense of wrath upon this things that not needed to exist. As the cold rain comes from the clouds, the feeling of the heavens cries, desiring empathy and hope that humans have created a world devoid of light for so long. The rain clouds only symbolize eternal darkness of the creation of all humanity. Robert tried to shield himself from the cold rain, but putting his arms over his head, but it was only a poor attempt. All right. Then all of a sudden, four strikes of lightning converge behind him, causing Robert to look at the amazing sight of bright, wrathful sight of the lightning overgoing into a bright light that has turquoise colored flames coming out that eventually formed into angelic wings. The wings seem to spontaneously burn into bones, and out of the light comes a human shaped figure wearing a black cloak with an orange mask and a halo consumed turquoise flames. Its red eyes seem to glow beyond the turquoise flames as As the being manifested in front of him, Robert falls into the wet grass, shocked and terrified at what he sees. The entity that Robert on the stares at Robert on the ground with its red glowing eyes, holding a bronze staff with
I think Punky's
crystal.
getting exhausted.
I'm not used to talking this much.
Huh.
Do you wish to lie there like a coward? Asked the entity with a deep, malevolent voice. Robert, shocked and horrified to the point of not being able to move as he watches the entity just hover slightly above the hill in front of him, eventually showing Robert found the courage to stand. It worked. I can't believe it worked. How did it work? Robert stuttered with fear. You're the one who called me, and if you do not speak your mind, I shall abandon you, explained the entity. All right, I'm sorry. You must be Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
You must be Sudoku Archangel of Fate.
It's
Really, you
supposed to
named
be.
it after yourself.
It's basically Archangel of Fate, but whatever.
Asked Robert with a slight sense of hesitation. It is now Archangel of Death. The entity responded. Why'd you name it after yourself?
It was well, it's a character that I created. Whatever.
But are you an angel of Valheaven? Are you
Uh,
not? Asked Robert with a plea. Yes, speak your mind, young child, the entity responded. My brother has chosen to be gay, but I know he's only making that choice because he's been rejected by cruel girls of my school. I wish to help him, but I do not know how. So can you please speak your wisdom and help me? Asked Robert. A thunderbolt goes off in the far distance behind the Reaper. The entity clenched his fist at that point. Robert felt like the spirit of death itself has been anchored. This is not a new problem, matter of fact. 3 different human worlds and the multiverse have been brought to extinction due to an overgrowing population of gay and lesbians. The 10 gods and the 8 archangels of Valhaven are aware of this threat. We've been sending messages to your kind throughout the multiverse to try to prevent this dark malice from growing. All humans do not believe in the supernatural. When we manifest in their dreams or physically in front of them, we are met with fear and distrust, explained the Reaper. I guess I am no different since I fear you, said Robert with humility. After that, the Reaper seemed to take a moment to think. I'm well aware that you are now taking part in a play in your school about the story of Moses, said the Archangel of Death. Yeah, so, Robert responded with a little bit of ignorance. In order to show you that slavery bad, God unleashed plagues upon Egypt to serve as a lesson. So maybe if I cast a number of deadly curses upon your city, then maybe this message might come across, explained the Angel of Death. No, I won't let you. I'll send you back, shouted Robert with fear as he holds up the Heart of Tears to the Reaper as a way of casting him back to where he came. The Heart of Tears is only a means to call, not to summon and control. Besides, even if that was the case, the situation was not felt by just me and Valhaven. The 10 gods in control of Valhaven are running out of options of dealing with this situation. It seems that negotiating does not work with you humans. Perhaps you only understand violence. So we'll give violence a try in order to save the universe, explained the Archangel of Death. Robert falls to his knees, feeling like there's nothing he can do to stop the suffering to come. Fear not there, Robert. If you go in my place and spread the message with your voice, I will do what I can to hold the curses. But tomorrow a deadly storm will come to the city to signal my arrival, explained the Archangel of Death. I will do what I can, said Robert, but I'm not sure if anybody will listen. After that, Robert returned home before his parents knew he was gone, and the entity known as Sudoku stayed out of sight, overwatching the city planning his move. The next morning, Music Girl gathers up her friends in the park of Music Town. Tony, Dose, RJ Cobra, and Barbara Rose meet Music Girl at the park that day to talk. Hello, my friends. I have gathered you here today because boys are being mistreated in our school, and I figured that since the gay and lesbian communities are the cause, and today is Pride Day, that we should gather up some people from our school to protest against people's bad decision. Explained Music Girl. Boys are not lonely because of those weirdos. People are just cruel. Trust me, I know. Tony responded with reluctance. Doesn't matter. I'm in. After all, I hate those freaks. I'm gonna beat their ass, said Barbara, seemingly ready for anything. Yeah, what do you have in mind if they're what do you have in that mind of yours, Music Girl? Asked our Jacob with curiosity. Tony realized a heavy sigh.
Hello, Elagost.
We're going to make a list of all the boys and men who claim to be lonely in this town, and we're going to gather them together to protest against Pride Day. What? Okay, this entire story is just dunking on Pride Day.
Yeah, it's. I did say it was anti LGBT, and it goes pretty hard, and it gets more anti LGBT as the book goes on. So that's a fair warning. But actually, at the end of the book, if I remember near at the end, Music Girl says something, you know, that is really my real true feelings towards the subject actually. And this is more of like, I think if I remember correctly, it was more of a metaphor of like, you know, how other people think about it, and how much hate is around it. And even though I disagree with the LGBT community completely, I honestly feel like violence is just making things worse. but but whatever.
And
Just
Music
go
Girl.
just go through the book, and you can make your own analogy or whatever. Because
RJ
because
Carbon and
because I
Barbara.
think we're both kind of tired, and we're just like, let's just get through this.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be packing up to go to my grandmother's house.
You didn't tell me this.
Well, I did now.
Well, then let's just get through it then.
Music Girl, explained Music Girl. RJ Cobra and Barbara agreed to do what she asked. However, even though Tony was hesitant at first, he eventually followed in line with reluctance. Weeks before, weeks beforehand, the gay and lesbian community planned a carnival that day. All of the gay and lesbians can hang out and have fun. On a grassy hill overlooking Music City, the carnival was set up with a Ferris wheel and many different rides with food stands feeding the community. The carnival food fucking sucks.
It probably does. I never been to a carnival. Well, actually, I've been to one, but I never actually tried to eat any of the food. So, oh wait a minute, there was this one place I went to, and their French fries were good. But anyways, moving on.
Robert's brother Quinn was hanging out with a bunch of lesbian girls from his school when all of a sudden a group of people with Music Girl in a lead gets everybody's attention. Okay, listen up, you gay and lesbian freaks. The first to throw a stone is the bad guy, said Music Girl through her microphone on a stage ready to rock her heart out for the citizens of Music City. And a group of straight boys and straight men raised a bunch of signs shouting against the gay and lesbian community on Pride Day. Becoming gay and or lesbian guarantees extinction, read some of the signs being protested against Pride Day. And a world of just women equals no children. Read some of the other signs. Trans men are Frankenstein's monsters. that shouldn't exist. Read some of the signs of the protests. Get out of here, you KKK wannabes. Hell, what the fuck? Said the gay and lesbian community as they start picking up stones and begin to throw them against protesters. However, Music Girl jumps in line of fire using her sound waves from her guitar to shatter the stones.
Okay, that was cool.
It's shockwave. Okay, who wants to go to jail for that? Asked Music Girl, looking at the gay and lesbian community with confidence. This whole thing is a really bad idea, said Tony with sadness and the protesting group. Despite her cheering along with everybody else making noise, Barbara could hear what Tony said. She stops cheering and looks at him. What's the matter, Tony? Asked Barbara with concern. This is normal. This is normally not my scene. Tony responded as he lowers the sign in his hand. But these people need our help, Barbara responded. Ty, human beings cannot be replaced. I've been picked on and mistreated by just the way I am. You think a race that enjoys self-harm to its own people can be helped? I've seen how cruel people can be up close and personal, so I think this is just a waste of time, said Tony as he drops the sign and begins to walk away. However, Barbara passes him. Tony, wait, started Barbara with a plea. Tony and Barbara got about 15 feet away from the crowd before Tony stopped and looked at Barbara with empathy. Tony, we cannot just let other people treat others with this much cruelty, and these people are making the wrong choice. We need to show them the right choices, Barbara said with a plea. I only came here because you did, but I don't think it's my job to help every single sad human being in this world. Besides, I don't think the world can truly be saved, said Tony with a calm voice. Immediately, Barbara was stunned by hearing what Tony said to her. Her heart fluttered and her mind overflowed with questions. However, at the same time, something was happening on the other side of town. No one's going to jail, you evil bitch. After all, you came and invaded us, remember? Now raise the flag, shouted Gwen with confidence. The gay and lesbian community raised the flag, but as they do, some ominous clouds form in the sky, and then lightning bolts strike the rainbow-colored flag, sending it ablaze. Well, that's my cue to leave, said Tony with a sense of hidden fear as he walks away from the scene. Tony, shouted Barbara, but she felt like she shouldn't get his attention anymore. Let's see. Save the world. Save the world. To save the world, I sent the pestilence of the plague
Yep, we're going into song mode.
into your house, upon your food, upon your drinks, and upon your land, into your streets, into your bed, and upon your dreams, until you all break and yield. I sent the swarm. I sent the horn to save the world, sang both Music Girl and Tony. The moment starts with Tony walking away, whispering the two lines with Music Girl, with almost a sinister sound within the music. With the gay and lesbian community are confused watching their flag burn away, Robert slowly walks through the crowd, approaching his brother. When Quinn turns to look at Robert, the food spontaneously spoils and their home spontaneously set ablaze. Anybody who is gay or lesbian or had anything to do with those communities face a pestilence of bed bugs and swarms of maggots and other disgusting insects causing an outbreak of disease. Once you used to be normal, once you used to laugh and be happy, and now all you want to do is cause pain. But Even now, even now, I wish the angels had another way, because serving as your foe on their behalf isn't what I want. Robert sings to his brother, getting his attention. At that moment, Quinn realized that his brother was causing all of this. Trans, trans right bastard. I sent the thunder raining down. I sent all of your homes to burn. I sent the hail of falling, freezing your homes. Tony, a music girl, continued to sing. As the other rains down on the gay and lesbian communities. The thunder. Hail the size of soccer balls rain down, destroying not only their homes, but their cars as well. Their pets have succumbed to disease, and many of them were dying from spontaneous frostbite. Seeing the devastation, RJ Cobra jumps into his cyber kid costume without anybody noticing and trying to help two civilians. Abuse City, knowing that this is happening all over the world. This is my home, all this pain and devastation. Oh, how it tortures me inside to see all the innocent to suffer from your stubbornness and pride, sings Robert, pointing at the burning pride flag. I sent the parasites on the winds of the world that has never been seen since. In every life and every stalk, until there's nothing left, until you yield. I sent my scourge. I sent my sword to save the world, sings both Music Girl and Tony. You, who I call a brother, why must you call down on another blow? Sings Quinn with anger. Send it back to the shadows, sings Robert at the top of his lungs, making it clear that he wants the gay and lesbian communities to stop advertising themselves as something good, because he surely believes in the bottom of his heart it is wrong. What he said, what is said for the world is said to save the world, sings both Music Girl and Tony. You, who I call a brother, how could you come to hate me so? Is this what you wanted? Then let my heart be hardened with pride. This still won't be so. We will never return to the shadows, sings Quinn as a response of anger and pride. Despite the devastation, the gay and lesbian communities stand together against Quinn's brother, as they surround him, holding their flags with pride. So the scourge lives on to save the world, sings both Tony and Music Girl. I will never let this go, sings both Robert and Quinn, as a visual pans over the entire city and devastation of ruins with a lightning bolt strikes, separating the two brothers in the distance. All of a sudden, Music Girl jumps over the flames and between the two brothers. What the hell is going on here? Asked Music Girl with concern. My homophobic brother cast a bunch of deadly curses upon the entire city, said Quinn, with anger, pointing at his brother. The other gay and lesbians looked upon Robert with sinister contempt. However, Music Girl turns into Robert for answers. I'm truly sorry there, Music Girl, but I summoned the Grim Reaper to ask for wisdom, but he insisted that he should cast curses upon the city, and he used me as a messenger to tell them to stop advertising themselves out in the open. We're almost done.
Yeah.
And Robert explains with empathy. Sounds like I have an appointment with death, said Music Girl with confidence. Music Girl was going to say more, but everybody in the location was interrupted by another voice entering the field. Indeed you do there, bitch, said the other voice. Music Girl, Robert, and Quinn looked to see who said that, and they say Steve entering their location. You again there, Steve? Guessing you haven't learned your lesson yet. Where's the rest of your goons? Or have you decided to face me on your own? said Music Girl, with her confidence getting ready for a fight. Immediately, Robert was frightened. He runs behind Music Girl. Oh, trust me when I say I don't need anybody's help to put you in your grave, said Steve as he takes a combat stance, and then rain becomes like floating blades around his body. What the hell? You two need to run, yelled Music Girl with a plea. Steve throws a green fireball while Quinn and Robert cowered behind Music Girl. Music Girl blocks the attack with a wall of sound from her guitar. Immediately after that, the two brothers look at each other and then start to run away from the battle. I'm going to enjoy putting you in your place, you stupid bitch, said Steve, taking 2 steps forward towards Music Girl. Now that there's no innocent civilians in the way, I can show you what I'm truly capable of, said Music Girl, taking 2 steps towards Steve and then goes into a combat stance. Steve makes the first move, and the water blades strike like snakes attempting to cut Music Girl into pieces. But yet again, Music Girl uses her guitar to create a sound wave barrier to block the attack. The Music Girl makes her move and sends a blast of sound with her guitar at Steve, but Steve rolls out of the way of the encounter, then attacks with a green fireball. Music Girl uses her guitar to summon music notes to block the attack with explosive results. Meanwhile, Robert and his brother Quinn are trying to run away, but they get blocked off by a wall of fire because of the plague. You do realize that this is your fault, right? Said Quinn with a very pissed off tone. Don't you think I know that there, brother? If we cannot outrun the battle, we need to hide, Robert responded with fear, so the two brothers run back to the battlefield and find a food stand that was not burned down. They hide inside, and while they're doing that, Quinn sees a butcher knife and grabs it for self-defense, but then he looks at thinking to himself, back to the battle. When the smoke clears from the explosion from the music notes, Music Girl looked at Steve with confidence. Even with your power, you cannot touch me, yelled Music Girl. I don't need to touch you, said Steve, as he fuses the green fire with the water blades, and the water instantly turns black. And yet again, the water strikes like serpents, but Music Girl blocks it with her sound wave, dispersing the water into harmless rain. She smiles with confidence, and before her skin begins to burn, realizing what's happening, she rolls out of the way from the black rain at that moment. Music Girl realized that she needs to end this fight very quickly because Steve is becoming more creative. Meanwhile, while the brothers are hiding, they watch the battle for a bit before Robert realized that there is a way out. I just now realized something. What happened to Tony and Barbara?
Tony left, and I'm guessing Barbara must have probably. I think. Okay, yeah, it's canon that Tony leaves, and he kind of disappears for a while, and Barbara tries to follow him, but when the plague starts, she basically hides in panic. But
Okay, what about RJ?
RJ is in his cyber kid suit trying to save everybody. So he's basically saving civilians from like the plague.
Come on, brother, follow me, shouted Robert. Through the heavy rain and thunder, his brother listens to him and follows him to a gap in the fire where there seems to be safety. However, while Quinn was following his brother, he thinks about what his brother did to him just because he chose to be gay. Anger begins to grow inside of his heart, and as he watches his brother from behind as they both were running towards safety. Out of anger, Quinn throws the butcher blade and impacts the blade on his brother's skull. Quinn smiles with insanity as he runs towards the corpse of his brother and continuously stabs his brother's corpse with insanity. You see, now, you pathetic angels, transhumans are the most powerful, superior beings on the entire planet, and
Oh, you're down here.
we will yield towards anyone, yelled Quinn as he holds up the butcher blade to the heavens as if he was declaring war on heaven. Meanwhile, the battle rages on between Steve and Music Girl. Steve throws two green fireballs, and Music Girl rolls out of the way of the first one, which causes a building to explode from behind her, knocking down the Ferris wheel. Then Music Girl uses a sound barrier to block the second attack. At the same time, Steve summons more water blades, and then Music Girl switches on her guitar and then releases a massive set of charge that goes off onto the clouds that causes 4 lightning bolts to strike Steve instantly, leaving him open for Music to finish him off with a ear-piercing sound wave from her guitar, which causes her eardrums and brain to explode from the inside.
Yeah. Basically, she basically freaking Mortal Kombated him.
Fatality.
Fatality. Music Girl wins.
Flawless victory.
I wouldn't necessarily say flawless victory, but okay. I don't even know where we are. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I need to scroll down. Dum 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 dum. Who the fuck is Apple Flip? Moving on.
I'm sorry, Steve, but you gave me no choice, said Music Girl, standing over Steve's corpse. After that, unaware of what happened to the brothers, Music Girl runs all the way to the top of the hill and releases a powerful sound wave into the sky. If there is a Grim Reaper who has caused all the devastation, I demand you show yourself, yelled Music Girl into the sky. At first, nothing happens. Music Girl turns away and is about to walk away from the scene. Like the 10 gods of Valhaven, I am always watching, said a malevolent voice, getting Music Girl's attention. Music Girl turns to see the Archangel of Death hovering above the hill in front of her. If you're the one causing this evil, then I demand you to stop, pleading Music Girl. The Reaper raises his hand and then snaps his finger, causing all the thunder clouds to dissipate. The fire disappear along with the pestilence and plagues. I believe that was more than enough punishment. Hopefully now you get the message, said the Angel of Death. I'm afraid no message was sent, at least not the right one. Violence is not the way to treat these poor people with these mental problems. Gays and lesbians should be petted and not treated as a foe to be smited. Is this the line you were talking about?
Yeah, pretty much.
Said Music Girl. Your words are constantly filled with purity and understanding of people's feelings. For what reason I shall leave it up to you there, Music Girl. However, if you fail, Valhaven shall step in again with violence, since the angels have tried 12 times to negotiate with humility, in understanding of you people, said the Angel of Death. I will not fail because the light of hope is in my heart, and you can trust me to send any message that is necessary for the light. Music Girl responded. And so it is that. And so it said the Angel of Death as he ascends into the sky and disappears out of sight. The Music Girl walks away from the scene. It continued. Well,
It's to me, this one's a little bit of a mess in terms of storytelling, but I feel like the message has actually went somewhat across. I think.
I mean, it does leave off with the cliffhanger. Like, what happened to the city after RJ went to go save them, and what the fuck happened with Quinn after he brutalized his brother?
Yeah. Well, the idea is that these are supposed to be short stories and they're supposed to be like little episodes, kind of like a superhero series is what I had in mind for Music Girl. I just think it's just that Gun Kid actually just took the metaphors a little too far to heart, and I don't know. He didn't seem to like this one. Like the metaphors in this one.
Is that why he left?
Yeah, pretty much. But I was trying to make a point to something because it was starting to bother me, but instead of like, you know, yelling at people, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna use that, that issue as a way to push me to write, and that's what I did. And I felt like that was the better option instead of like, being mean to people or anything like that. But,
Mm,
it is what it
mm,
is.
yeah.
Well, anyways, I do hmm, yeah, let me take care of something real quick. I guess it's gonna just gonna be a bitch. There we go. That's good enough. Well, anyways, thank you for helping me out there, Punky, and have a good time with your mom and stuff like
My
that.
grandma.
Hello?
Yeah.
And
I
have a
was
good
my
you,
grandma.
oh yeah, have a good time with your grandma. So please like and subscribe, and this is Zerduko and Punky signing out.